Going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here, and I got a special package that has arrived last but not least, but I'm sure you guys have no idea what this is. Even though it says ICERIVER, that's not a giveaway at all. Zero, zilch, none. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Regardless, let's open this up, and you know, we got our standard red foam up top here. It's looking pretty good, looking pretty nice. You know, nice and smooth here. Crack that open, and boom! Whoa! Damn, it's a mess down there. Anyway, so, look at that. So this is the none other than the KS0 Pro Limited Edition Kaspa Edition. Or do you, hey, what's this? You guys see this? Oh my gosh, is ICERIVER proposing to me? I don't even know what to say. Guys, let me know down in the comment section what I should say. You know what? Maybe if they give me a KS5L, I'll consider it. Let's check out what's in this thing. I can't really do this with one hand here. Let's see how much my skills are. Come on, skills. Don't fail me now. Okay, almost got it. Almost got it. Oh, nice. All right, so we have a Kaspa keychain ordealio here. So that's actually pretty sweet. I wasn't aware that this came with it, but it does come with a Kaspa keychain. All right, so I'm trying to pull it out, but it's a little bit tight, so I'm gonna have to do some type of YouTube magic. Remember, you can only do this on YouTube. So 3, 2, 1, and there we go. YouTube magic. So let's take a look at this bad boy. So it does look like we do have that Kaspa symbol in the front. This is a nice looking KS0 Pro here. Much nicer than the other ones. Actually, guys, it's exactly the same. It just has the Kaspa symbol, and it's a nice green color, so that is pretty sweet. I do have some of those shrouds here somewhere. Let me check them out. Right here. Yeah, so I got those. Oh, they are a little bit... Oh, they're the same color. It just looks weird in the camera when I was looking through the viewfinder, but looking at them side by side in, like, real life, they are actually the same color. So that's kind of cool here. So it does come with the default power supply, or at least mine did anyway. It is 120 watts there. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I do have a KS0 Pro where I did purchase a 180 watt power supply, but it was not overclockable. So I'm going to use this one on that one, and then I'll probably use that one on this one, and I'll see if I can even overclock this. Remember, if you're counting on buying KS0 Pros to overclock, it might not be able to. I tried everything. I threw an inline fan on that thing and ripped it open. It would not overclock. It was still overheating, or it just wouldn't do anything. So point here is, guys, you never know if you will get one that is overclockable, but I'm going to throw some PB firmware in here and start slow with no fans or nothing and see if we do gain any hash or not. That would be a quick indicator before you go out there and start spending an extra $100 to $200, which is half of what this thing already costs at, what, $329 I think this is. So you have to spend an extra $100 to $200 depending if you have your own 3D printer or not, just to keep this thing cool and overclock it in the first place. So there's a lot of extra money involved to do things like that. Now, I don't know if it's the color of the paint or they did something different, but it looks like there's a lot more holes in here, doesn't there? Is there more air holes in here? Or is that just the standard? I can't remember what the other ones actually had on them. All right, guys, so it has been a week and a half since I originally opened this thing up. I did do a whole bunch of testing, as well as ordered a NOCTUA fan here. I didn't try this shroud yet, but I'm telling you right now, you don't need that thing, depending on your KS0 Pro. Remember, every KS0 Pro could be different, but all you need is this nice NOCTUA fan, and everything runs. I didn't have to crack it open. As you can see, I don't have the front open for the vents or anything happening here. I didn't do any type of thermal paste on the chips. It does look like, at least for this one, ICERIVER really did better in when they produced this model. Now, again, I cannot say if that is for every single model here, but this one is running cool, and all I needed was a simple fan on top. It's a USB powered fan, so you don't need any extra supplies as well. So that's awesome. Just look at this thing. This fan is pretty darn sweet. So I did unplug it right quick just so I can show you. I will have a link to this fan down in the description here, but this is a 1900 RPM fan. I'm not sure the actual CFM that it produces, but yeah, you know, it works absolutely amazing for keeping at least my KS0 Pro Very, very cool. Not needing any extra stuff. And again, this is USB, so it plugs right into the KS0 Pro. No other attachments needed here. And I do have it set to suck the air out of the KS0 Pro and exhaust it up through them holes there. So maybe if there are extra holes, that could be helping. Regardless here, let's go take a look at the numbers and see just how well this fan is doing with temperatures and everything. All right, so here's the results of my testing. Now, a few things to point out. One, you can see yellow and green. Green is just the most efficient setting that I got, 2.08 gigahash per watt of power used, and yellow is the actual setting that I am using for mining, as it's pretty close to the most efficient, but I am seeing a little bit extra hash rate here, so kind of like in the medium there. But all the hash rates here, they're averages at the pool. I never like to go with the dashboard. This is all coming, the information provided by the pool for at least 6 to 12 hours of mining. So I am using that for my numbers here. So here we can see stock just right out of the box here, 198 gigahash. My temperatures were 62C. That's with the fans, default ones, maxed out at 100%, and 98 watts was used at the wall, and you can see 2.02 gigahash per watt. Now here I started doing a boost here, so I am using PB Farmer firmware. You do have to wait 5 to 10 minutes for everything to finally adjust. Take your time, take it slow so that you don't have any mishaps and you know exactly what your issues may be. Example, you're starting to tweak more hash rate here, give it a boost here, but maybe you're not seeing the hash rate, so you might have to give it some voltages. So make sure you do the hash rate first, wait it out, and then add voltages if you don't see anything change or possibly your hash rate drops. But first off, at the 10% boost here, so 10% boost is an extra 55 megahertz to the core chips here. I did get up to 229 gigahash. My temperature was up to 64.7 C, not much there. I was using 109.7 watts and 2.08, which was my most efficient setting. Now here we have the exact same settings, but this is when my NOCTUA fan actually showed up, and I put the fan on top, which I kind of explained how I have it situated earlier. Now I didn't see any increase in hash rate from running a cooler, but we can see I went from 64.7 C to 51.9 C. So I did see a big drop in the temperatures putting that fan on top there. Obviously the fan is going to use a bit more power here, 111.1 watts, which dropped our hash to watt ratio, or I guess gigahash to watt, to 2.06. Not too much of an efficiency change, and we definitely seen a big temperature drop in those temperatures between the two. And then moving up here, I did add a 50% boost, so I added 275 megahertz. Now I also added 10 millivolts to that, because what happened here, as I was saying earlier here, once you increase this, wait for it to go out here, and I actually saw my hash rate start to drop, which means I didn't have enough voltages. If you don't have enough also, the red light will actually start flashing on your Kaspa ASIC as well. Just because you increase it a bit and it stops flashing, it still might not be enough, so keep that in mind here. But I did add an extra 10 millivolts to the fan. My hash rate started spiking. I waited to see what the pool would say. After, again, 6 to 12 hours here, it did boost it up to 287 gigahash. My temperature is now 59.2 C for 157.8 watts at 1.81 for our gigahash to watt ratio here. I then boosted this up to 60% here, which was a plus 330 megahertz to the chips there. Also needed an extra 8 millivolts, so 18 total millivolts. Fan is still on top here. I got up to 321 gigahash at the pool on that 6 to 12 hour average there, and my temperatures are only 67.8 degrees Celsius. So we're still looking at pretty decent temps here, where other ones were already in like the 90 degrees. If you're using temperature gauge monitors and stuff, PB firmware does have a max chip temp, so it's nice and easy. Everything is in the firmware to know your temperatures here. But this is where I was maxed out. I ran up to 175.8 watts. My PSU is 180 watts, so I didn't want to go past this. So this is my max setting that I could get on this. Again, I could probably try a little bit more and get a few more out of it, but I just didn't want to risk it. Plus that power supply was getting very, very hot. And here for a gigahash to watt ratio is 1.82. And then coming down to where I am right now, I do have the fan still on it. As we've seen, I went with a 15% boost here, which is 80 megahertz on the fan. So here is the percentage that it says in the firmware that you're boosting it up. And this is the number that I use to get to that boost. And again, every KS0 Pro could be different, but you can try these numbers for yourself to see how yours end up. But I am sitting at 236 gigahash. My temperature right now is 52.5 C. It's been pretty steady at this over the past couple days here. I am only using about 116 watts, and that is a gigahash to watt ratio of 2.03. So I do think I can probably get a little better efficiency here. So what I want to do here, actually know sometime in the future, is keep boosting it up until I actually have to have voltages and then kind of drop it down a bit. Kind of like how I tuned my CPUs at the base clock, because once you start adding those millivolts, you start dropping, as you can see here, once I started adding those, you start dropping your efficiency quite a bit here. So if you can maximize the amount that you can boost your KS0 Pro without having to add any extra power to it, you can still keep it relatively pretty good in efficiency. So I still might be able to get to maybe 20%, maybe only 17, 18, maybe 21. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet to go past this without adding voltages, but that's something I want to continue to move forward to and check out in the future. So there we have it, guys. Final thoughts on this KS0 Pro is it definitely looks like ICERIVER did do improvements versus the KS0 and early KS0 Pro models, because I'm not really seeing major temp issues like we originally saw with these ICERIVER miners. Now, ICERIVER did send me out this miner to showcase, test, and unbox for you guys, so hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Now, if you guys are looking for any type of Kaspa miners, head on over to them links down in the description, and there's plenty of varieties from trusted ASIC manufacturers and sources for you to get your hands on some equipment. Or maybe you're in the market for the best FPGA currently to date, like the ColeEngine P2X, formerly known as the Superscaler K10 Plus, or maybe the best ETH ASICs on the market, like the Jazzminer X16P, then head on over to Jingle Mining. They got the ColeEngine P2X, they got Goldshell's latest KA box for Kaspa, as well as the AL box for Lithium, the first ASIC ever to hit, and of course, all the latest best ETH Jazz miners currently on the market, and start mining today. All right, guys, so that pretty much does wrap up this video. So before we go here, I do want you guys to let me know down in the comment section what you think about this Kaspa limited edition KS0 Pro, and what type of miners you're currently in the market for, and what coins you hope to pump in this bull run. I'll see you on the next one. Rabid out.